2 minutes after 7, as promised, Johanse IODK on set with me live. Johanse, I must say, happy to see you, making the extra effort to be in studio.
Yeah, man.
You know, whether we do it live or sometimes, you know, the car link up, we still get dynamic and really strong conversations. And this one, all you hear the topic, and I quote, are you taking better care of your marijuana plant than yourself? Because for those who grow their herb, you're allowed, what, four
per adult.
The son is pruning, is watering, is talking, is look now.
Listen, Jason.
People
I see
high science, you know.
And the lighting and thing, right? And then I just wonder, some of the same people I see doing this, I know they're not taking care of themselves. Some of these same people have back problems, have health problems, and they're using their resources and their time to take care of the plant and not themselves. And then when I thought about it, I was like, why? So on a wider scale, when I analyze it, I realize many people take more care of their vices than themselves. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very solid. You know, I was within a quiet moment earlier this week, and I was wondering, and it kind of goes exactly, it speaks exactly what you're talking about. I wonder if sometimes people, I see it like two ways. If people love being pampered, or they love to pamper. So I'm thinking the person who is pampering their vice, making sure the plant is all right, making sure sometimes a pet is well taken care of and they're not taking care of themselves.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It's like you love to just, you want the aesthetics or you want things to look and appear to be nice around you, sacrificing your own journey. And then there are those who don't care what's happening. It could be total chaos around them. Once they're pampered, it's good to go. I sometimes wonder if that is the two approach, if that's kind of, it's a twofold kind of approach when you consider caring and love.
Well, the thing is, what I've noticed is the people who want to pamper are in the majority than people who want to be pampered or who set the standard to be pampered. And ever since when I met my wife, she's somebody who real big on self-love and really understanding what that is. And yesterday I was talking to our brethren, and he said he was listening to our video, and the person say 3 things you love in 10 seconds. And he called it 3 things. And then at the end of the video, they say, where did you rank yourself? And he said he didn't even think about himself now.
It's true. That's a solid point. I guess it's the concept of being selfless or selfish. And many people who are selfless, really, they will literally give somebody their last without really thinking about it. But I guess you have to love that person or love, or there must be some kind of affinity. So in the case of the marijuana plant, I would imagine you're taking proper care of it because the ultimate goal is for it to mature, for it to flower, for it to clean it, roll it, and smoke it. And people who smoke their own plant always say that it's such a, you know, when they grow it, it's a different kind of head now.
Well, one, let me go from a psychological point of view is that, you know, you do something so you feel good, like you reap what you sow, right? But also the feeling that they say that the hiders give them, right? They kind of put in more efforts towards that feeling, which is short-term versus the long-term of taking care of yourself. So I'm not saying that, you know, you should neglect your plant, neglect your pet, neglect anything that you want to pay for too. But it's a balance. And self-hate, I'm using it strong now, is a mental health issue. Because many of us, including myself, and because I'm a wife, now learning how to really, what I mean to love myself. And she just say, self first, but not self only, right?
So how do people love themselves without being vain, without being considered, you know, a vanity smurf, without, like, you know, because there are people who, well, have love yourself and like yourself, right? How does one strike that balance? Because I guess many people say, well, you know, if I love myself, I might be considered kind of vain, I might be selfish. People might watch me differently. How does one kind of manage that in their mind?
Well, one, I'll go with that quote again from my wife. She says, self first, not self only. So you're taking care of yourself, but you're still thinking about others. That's one. 2 is, look at yourself as the medium or the tool to take care of others. So if you want to take care of all these people, you have to be good. It's like when you're on a plane and they say, put the mask on yourself first. Make sure you're good, before you help others, because most times we are the tool, whether it is in our workplace, a family, a friendship, or business, we are the tool. So if we look at ourselves as that important, as a car, you need your car to move around. So you make sure you take care of it, your services, you pour on the tires, etc. So you make sure, buy proper shoes for yourself, buy proper clothes for yourself. I didn't say it had to be $1 million suit, you know, but every little thing, your wallet not looking good, is the money you want, make sure your money even looking good in the wallet. Just some little things. Don't have to be expensive things, but at least the little things to show yourself that appreciation.
We're still making total sense, and I never looked at it that way. You want to take care of others, and many of us who are, let's say, like a patriarch in our family, or let's say the go-to person in our family to help out. It's true. You have to, you know, you can't give from the cup if the cup empty. So the cup must be at least minimum half full. I would suggest 3/4 full. But that's the only way you could really share from this reservoir of wealth and knowledge and experience and resources. If you, on a level, because if you pop down, everything fall down.
That is true. And I quoted my wife plenty this morning. She also said something about real charity is not taking the shoes off your foot to give someone, but you have any resources to buy another shoe. And that really stuck to me, because sometimes we give and we sacrifice. And sacrifice means you're giving and not receiving. So if you keep doing that, eventually you will be at zero. And when you're at zero, your mental health degrade, your finances degrade, and therefore you eventually will degrade.
So again, it goes back to the question here, are you taking better care of your marijuana plant than yourself?
Or others.
Yeah, or others, because the reality is, and I'm glad you used that particular reference, because those who grow their plants at home, they really take particular care. More than the croton, no other plant.
Temperature, I know somewhere it's a temperature gauge, you know, to make sure it's the right temperature.
And they'll put it out and then bring it back in. And they're smelling it, you know. And I guess it's just, I guess, you know, the novelty of it for some people too, you know, the ability to grow it, I guess. And some people just, I guess they're probably not a green thumb, so they'll have to really watch it. But the reality is,
it became a green thumb, though, eh?
Right. And I guess what you're saying is the same effort, that same vigilance, that same determination to ensure the plant or the pet or whatever it is.
You can show yourself that.
You could do that to yourself. And don't feel bad about it, because, again, and as we look to wrap things up, some people actually feel guilty about treating themselves, you know. There are people who feel guilty with success. There are people who feel guilty with sometimes coming into big money. There's a guilt. What can cause that? Why would one feel guilty for something that you work so hard, or something that you get some kind of accolade or some honor bestowed upon you, and you're feeling bad inside? What's that?
A lot of times it's how we grow up, you know. Because sometimes how we grow up depending on, and I see this a lot with the first child, right? If you have siblings, the oldest, because the oldest sometimes take on a lot of responsibility, and they are taught to give to the younger ones. You have to make sure and take care of the younger ones. Or sometimes, even if it's an only child, you have to make sure and take care of your parents. You have to make sure and take care of this. So after a while, they just learn, I have to take care of it. I mean, up to this week, I saw a lady, she just said for years, she just given and given and given. And what I was telling her, if you have a lot of responsibility with no power, and you're not giving back to yourself, you become a slave. And so even though you're giving, you like to give, but everybody taking and taking from you, and feeling like a slave is not a good thing, right? Feeling like you're not getting anything in return, even if it's a thanks, could never be a good thing.
You want to let you have the final say, as always.
Take care of yourself as much as you take care of others, because you are the tool that you use to take care of others in this world. And if you break down, then you wouldn't have the opportunity to take care of them. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
And you're most welcome, you want to say. Very important talking point, and it's one where I hope for those looking on, you know, we really take heed to this particular message. It's one, too, that I need to embrace. I need to take a little better care of even myself.
Correct.
All right, and I want to thank you for that little reminder, that nugget of just that jolt of information to remind myself. Great conversation this morning. We're going to come back and get some details as it pertains to World Sight Day. Oh, yes, some friends from the Trinidad Eye Hospital. They're going to come on set and give me some details and talk about their donation of 1,000 eyeglasses. Big giving back there by the Trinidad Eye Hospital. Stand by.